Hello everyone, welcome. In this video, I'm going to talk about the basics of grid modular. I'm going to show you the basic operation, keys, and I will try to create a simple spaceship or robots, some hard surface mesh to show you what can you do by using grid modular. Okay, so let's get started. Here we have the default grid. You can start grid modular by right click, but I always add this to the quick menu. If you right click grid modular, then you can add the menu item to your quick menu. So what is quick menu? Quick menu is that when you press Q key, it will show. So this is my quick menu. I put the most used function in my quick menu. So you see that I already put grid modular in my quick menu. Okay. Then I select this face, any face, and start. Here I enabled the on-screen key press. You can see my press the key on here. And then here is the grid. I can enlarge the grid, increase the grid or decrease it. I can increase the grid by control and roll the mouse, decrease it, and I can change the grid size by Alt key and then scroll the mouse. Okay, so I enlarge it a little bit, and then I can use my mouse to draw some shapes. The shape has to be closed. So I have a shape, and I draw another shape. Okay. Then I have to commit. Commit means execute the operation. Grid modular has 4 basic operations. If I pass Q key, it will execute the default operation. You can see them here. The default operation is Boolean cut. It uses the Blender's built-in Boolean function to cut by your shapes. So it was cut. I can change to other function. The most important function is create face. It is the highly used function, the most creative function in grid modular. If I use create face function, then I can pass E key to extrude them. It's very convenient to create shapes, new mesh on the top of another mesh. So you will see I draw another shape on this face, and then I create a face. Press Q and then select new face. It's very convenient. If I baffle this edge, and then I use grid modular, I can draw many. I can create new mesh on top of them. So in fact, I have a more convenient method to select the functions, the operations. I can pass the key free to create new face directly. The keys 1, 2, 3, and 4 represent the 4 operations. If I pass 3, it will create new face. If I pass 4, then it will Boolean cut. Okay, I have already showed the new face function. The Boolean cut function is convenient for create details. So I pass four key, then it will Boolean cut. But how to change the depth of the Boolean cut? I can change it here. In the property window, I can change the depth to make it smaller or very deep. If I keep increase it, it will cut to the bottom. So you see the mesh has a hook. Let's say I select this face and then I run the tool. I draw the shape on the edge and then I pass 4 key. I'm using the depth I set previously, so is it a very high number, so it cuts through all the mesh. I can decrease it. Okay, a little bit is enough. So I demonstrate the 2 important functions. But what are the remaining functions? Okay, the remaining functions are cut the selected face and then fill by addon or triangles. In fact, Grid Modeler has the ability to cut on the selected face directly without Boolean subtraction. So if I pass 1 key, it will split the selected face but not cut by Boolean. So this is the resulting face. I can extrude it or extrude it negative. You see? Okay, so the 1 and 2 operation are the same. They are only difference by the result filled by addon or triangle. So this is filled by triangles. Triangles seems ugly, but at some rare case it may be useful. Okay, so I choose addon. Okay, that's good. Okay, so the most important power of Grid Modeler is that Grid Modeler can be run on multiple selected face. So you can keep cut it by Boolean or addon, cut it repeatedly, and then select all of them and then keep cutting it, or create new things on top of them. For example, here I cut it, but there are some very ugly addons. It is the big problem in other modeling method, but for Grid Modeler it is completely okay, no problem at all. I can select the addons and then run the tool on top of them without any problem. So I can draw the face and then I can pass the Q key or 4 key to cut it. No problem. For example, this face, I can also select them all and then I just cut on top of them. I draw the shape and then cut. No problem at all. So we only have to care about the overall shape of the geometry of the mesh. We don't have to care about the face topology at all. Just keep it addons. Addon is good. It is perfect for Grid Modeler. Okay, for example, here I can select this, this, and this, and then draw the shape, and then cut it. No problem at all. But the real power of grid modeler is not Boolean cut. The most important power is that I can enlarge the grid pane and then create new shape, new mesh on top of them, and then extrude it. This is a very powerful modeling method. As you may see in my other video, I create spaceships, spacecraft, or models of robots. I create them by using this method. I create new face on top of the existing mesh. So I will try to demonstrate some simple modeling. And at the same time, I will talk about what functions I use. Okay. So I delete it. I have a new clip. I always like to use Mueller modifier, so I create a Mueller modifier. Okay. I move the mesh on the x-axis. So whatever I do on this face, it is mirrored. Okay, perfect. So I move it a little bit. I try to bevel it to make a good shape. I want to create a simple spaceship. Maybe, I'm not sure. Okay, so I select this face and then I try to create a new mesh on top of it. Okay, I draw a new mesh, new shape. When I use the Mueller modifier, one important tip is that I never draw my shape line exactly on the Mueller link axis. Why? Because it has a strange limitation for Bender's Boolean. Okay, so if I am not drawing this shape, but if I draw exactly on this edge, I can still create the mesh, no problem. But if I Boolean cut it, it will become a big hole. So it is a little bit tricky. The Boolean limitation of Blender. Okay, so I draw it again. So you see that the grid is not aligned to this axis. If I want to align the grid line, I can hold Control and then click the edge. So you see that it is aligned. I can Control click this edge to align to this edge, and then I can click it again, Control click it again to align to this. Okay, so I am not going to draw on the Mueller link axis because it causes problem. The Boolean operation may have bug. So I cancel it. I draw a little bit overlap on the Boolean, on the Mueller link axis. Okay, so I pass key free and then extrude it. Perfect. So I want to cut it on this corner to make it a little bit sharp because this is a spaceship. What can I do? In fact, for grid modeler, there is a special function. If I do not select anything and then I run grid modeler, it will use my current view pane to execute grid modeler. So I will show you how to do it. First, I do not select anything. Then I switch to numpad 3, the left view mode. Then I run grid model. You will see that that is the grid, no problem. And then I can draw shapes this way. Okay. If I do anything wrong in grid model, I can press Ctrl Z to undo it. So you can see that I press Ctrl Z to undo it. No problem. Okay. I draw the shape here. I want to boolean cut the corner. I draw the shape here. You see that here is the view pane. Okay, I pass 4 key to boolean cut. Please note that if your depth is not enough, for example, if your depth is default 1, you will not see anything. You have to increase the depth in order to cut it. Okay, perfect. So this is the cut corner. I want to do it again. Okay. I hold Alt to enlarge the view pane. Then I want to create a code font for the spaceship. Maybe here. Okay, key free, and then extrude it. And then do not select anything. Numpad 3, and then run grid model. This time I want to cut it by irregular shape. This way. Okay. Then pass Q. It was cut. How about the bottom? I do this again to cut the bottom. I draw the shape and then Q key. Okay, perfect. So, but I think this corner is a little bit sharp, so I pass the key 7 on numpad, top view, and then run grid modeler to cut on from the top. Draw the shape and then Q key, increase the depth. Okay, perfect. It was cut. So this is the base of the spaceship. So how about the back? I want to extrude it a little bit, but it looks like a rectangle. I bevel it a little bit. So I want to add some burner on the back of the ship. How can I do that? On this face, the real power of grid modeler is that I can add anything to anything. For example, I can run grid modeler on this face, and then I can pass key C to change it to circle 2. I pass C. You see that I press C. Now it is using circle mode. The current circle edge shown here is 12. I click on here, and then I can hold Shift and then scroll my mouse. You see that the number of sides is being changed. Minimum is 3. It becomes a triangle. But we are not looking for triangle. I want a circle. I increase it to 20, and then I left click to confirm it. Okay, I created a circle with 20 size. I click it again here and create a circle with same size. Okay, perfect. This time I press key 3 to create face, extrude it again, enlarge it, scale it up, extrude it, and then bevel it, select it, and then insert it, extrude it a little bit, and then insert it, create a hook. Okay. Oh, I forgot to do it in here. Do the same thing here. Okay, that's great. So we created a basic burner for the ship. But if we want to add a wing on the burner, I can select the face and then create a wing. I will show you how to do that. Let's say I want to create a little wing on here. So I select this face and then one grid modeler. You will see that as very small grid show on this face. We don't have to worry. We can hold Alt and then scroll to enlarge it. Perfect. We can work on here. But the grid line is not aligned to the edge. We can do that. I Control-click the edge to align the grid line. And then I draw a little bit longer rectangle and then plus 3 key. Okay, here is the new face. I can extrude it and then select this edge to bevel it. Maybe we have to make it smaller on this face. I select both edges and then scale it down. So we have a small wing. Okay, maybe I want to bevel it at this edge too. Bevel it a little bit. Nice. Okay. So, and then I want to add some details on the model. For example, I want to add some cut on here. I can select both faces, 1, 2, and then I draw rectangle on here. But I want to draw a number of the same rectangles from here down to here. How can I do that? In fact, another most powerful function of Grid Modeler is that it supports many kinds of copy and array. It is the expert of array. Okay, I can right-click my mouse to enter to another mode of Grid Modeler. It is called selection mode. Selection mode is for some control function of shapes. For example, rotation, copy, cut, paste, array, scale, etc. Those functions can be accessed in selection mode. So how do I enter selection mode? You just have to right-click the mouse on the grid pane. For example, I right-click my mouse. You will see that the yellow text selection mode is shown here. Now you are in selection mode. If you use your cursor to click on the grid pane, you cannot draw anything. You cannot draw new shapes. Instead, you are creating a selection rectangle, yellow rectangle. If your yellow rectangle hits the shapes, the shape will be selected. It is selected in yellow color. You can press G key to move it. Okay? You can press R key to rotate it. There are many kinds of functions many useful functions in selection mode. Okay. The most interesting function is array copy. How to do it? Just part D key. D is for array copy. So I create a copy of it. But how to create a number of copies? It is very easy. I just have to scroll the mouse. I scroll up. I create a number of copies. I can create them in any direction. This direction, no problem. This direction, any direction. If I press C key, it will be in a circle. Of course, we should change the pivot point before using this function. So if we click to confirm it, then we can cut it by pressing Q key. Okay, so we have to decrease the diff a little bit by 1. Decrease it a little bit so we have some details on both faces. We can do the same thing here. Select this face, run the tool. Okay. If we try to add the details along this edge, we can first control click this edge to rotate the grid pen. By this way, we can create the shapes along in this direction. It is a very convenient way to create details. I can increase the density of the grid by holding Ctrl then scroll, and we can draw shapes on it. For example, I can draw this shape and then right click to enter selection mode, and then just click on the shape to select it. I have selected this shape. It will be in yellow color. Okay, so I can press D key to duplicate it. Array copy. Roll the mouse. So it will be copied. I press Q key to confirm it. Okay, so we have a nice detail on this mesh. Okay, so this is the basic operation and functions of grid modeler. Hope that it is helpful for you, but I will talk about it more details in future videos. So hope to see you again.